April the 10th, 2020. Because you're looking at our website at bpearthwatch.com, and we're going to talk about two of the links tonight in this video. Also, for you guys that have ordered food from My Patriot Supply over the years, you know they were hit at like 100 times in orders, just like everything else. All the Walmarts, Targets, Costco's, everything was swamped. But now they're lowering their delivery time back down to about 2 months now. And it used to be up to just 3 or 4 days. But it is getting better there. We're starting to see that curve go down just like we are on the reported virus information. But the two links that I want to talk about, and it's very important because I've talked about this maybe 8 years on YouTube. And one is new that my wife Tina put in this afternoon because I asked her to, because I wanted to talk about this. I think it was on one of our old websites. But it's called the Schumann resonance. And if you scroll down, guys, one that's been here forever called the Magnetopause right there. See that? These are the two links that we're going to be talking about in this video. So pay attention to it. Of course, you've got new information, any new COVID maps or Contagion Live maps as far as flu updates. And if you look at that, it's kind of, you realize the flu is way worse than whatever they're shutting the country down for. But on the Schumann resonance, guys, I think it's very important, and what I've always called it was called the God frequency to me, because if you understand the physical aspects of prayer or meditation, whatever you want to call it, to where you sit down, you calm down, you relax your mind, and you pray to God. And it's that frequency is 8 to 12 cycles per second. It's known from ancient ancient India meditation techniques up to modern prayer. And that when you can slow your frequency of your brain down to 8 to 12 cycles per second, somewhere in that range, it becomes very relaxed. And it's scientifically proven that it's a healing frequency. It's a relaxing. You can relax, and it's a healing frequency. I call it the God frequency, and I believe that if God was ever going to change the human psyche in a way that to where their eyes were open or their ears were open, it would be in the first form this way, before Christ sets his foot down here. And on the Schumann resonance chart tonight, I want to show you something, and it actually happened last night, and the magnetopause and the Earth's shields were devastated, and it came from above our planet. We're going to take a look at that, but click on the first link, Schumann resonance, right there. Now, this is going to take you to what's called the elattrageocenter.info website, and there's a lot of information there, but the link we provided brings you straight to their Schumann resonance page, but there's other information. And guys, in this chart, that's what they're talking about. And if you look, it's measured in almost 4 different frequencies. You've got at lower up to higher frequencies. And you can see what I was talking about between the 8 and 12 cycle per second is the normal range right in this area. That, again, that's ancient knowledge. If we look at it on a stronger graph as far as being able to visualize it, this one in the center. All right, now let me try to pull this up just a moment. Now, you'll see this vary, and it depends on exactly where you're at on the Earth, and the measuring instruments are depending on if it's Earth-based or satellite. But right here, you're seeing April the 8th, and the Schumann resonance, again, look at the frequencies range, 8 cycles per second. And upward, and then it goes into the 9th, which is what I'm talking about now. Over here, we're into the 10th, and so we're starting to see in the last few frames on the 10th an increase. But last night, there was a very heavy spike. And so why would, if this is a healing frequency, just bear with me, I know it's a little strange, I've been accused of worse, would they want everyone inside? Now, let's look at the magnetopause, guys, because I've never seen the Earth's shields get hit this hard and from above. It actually forced the energy of the sun the solar wind back towards the sun. A complete reversal, but it was not from the sun or something behind the earth. It was from something above it. Let's take a look at this. Now you're looking at the magnetopause. We're going to look at it. This is kind of a side view. We'll look at it from the top view also. On the 9th at 5:41 UTC time last night, things were pretty normal. The arrow that I just put on the red is the direction from the energy of the sun. And the black circle, guys, is the located the earth. And the center of that is a white circle. That is the earth, and the white side is the sun-facing side. Kind of normal solar winds as we see the energy from the sun that's in the large red arc, striking the shields, and the shields deflecting that away, just like an airplane going through the wind. Suddenly, at 1833.40 in that area, chaos started to hit our shields. Notice this, 1809. Now watch what's happened. Again, the energy's coming from the right of your image from our sun. As things start to change, and I'll show you a top view. This is a side view. These are satellite graphics. In other words, they're picking up the energy in the field lines. Look at this, guys. I've never seen anything like it at all. Check it out. Going into 1917 Universal Time. Completely disrupts the Earth's magnetic shield. Now the energy starts to push back towards the sun. We're going to look at 3 different graphs from these satellites. Check this out. The magnetic lines are being broken into, it's total chaos. But it was an extreme burst in the Schumann resonance. Look at this. Now, again, the energy from the sun is supposed to be coming from the right. Now, suddenly it's coming from the left. Look at the bulge in the Earth's inner shields. Right here, look at that. Now, everything in these blue lines, that's never supposed to be like this. But it did not come from behind the Earth as in a perspective as if you're between the sun and the Earth. This came from above us. Could it have been a supernova burst involved in this? There was one recorded on space weather back a few days ago. But here we go. The energy's pushing back normal direction. But now we're starting to see a second wave come in. Complete chaos. And the Schumann resonance, guys, I can't overemphasize how important that is. But no one has ever seen these graphs that you're seeing now, including myself, and I've watched them for over 10 years. Look at that. There's a second wave coming in, starting to push now up and down on the energy that's being released from the shields of our planet. The energy from the sun, again coming from the right, is being pushed back. We're still at in the 9th on UTC time. Look at that. Complete chaos starting as we get into the 10th this morning to semi go back to normal. And again, you're seeing the red build up on the right. That is the solar wind. Now, again, that was side views. Now, let's look at top views. And what you're looking at, guys, is 2 orbiting satellites right here. And those are GEOES satellites. One is a Korean satellite, by the way. And they're sensing energy coming from the top of the Earth. And as you see this explosion start to happen here, you're going to see the energy being turned back towards the sun. See these arrows in the red area that are coming from the right? They're going to actually turn back towards the sun, and they're going to continue to go out to the left. That's like a downburst of an extreme thunderstorm, guys. If you've ever been in a sailboat and been in one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Watch the arrows now. The energy has turned back towards the sun. So, and they're going back here, so it's telling you that it's a downward burst. If it was a gamma ray burst that affected the Schumann resonance and affected the Earth shields, then it would have been looking towards, I guess, north if you're in the northern hemisphere. But that's what we're looking at. It's amazing to see this. You don't see it very often, and you might want to save this video because some of this information goes down and it goes away on these websites. But it happens twice. Look at this. We're getting into the 20th. It happens again. 2 pulses. last night. And so you guys that had asked me about looking at it, that's why I'm doing this video. And I wanted to throw in the part about the Schumann resonance. Look at that complete reversal. And it wasn't like we have seen magnetic reversals before that go back to theories of including a Jupiter wind. Look at that, 2100 hours. You're getting into a third pulse, not quite as strong, but by this time, 3 pulses within about 3 hours that completely reversed and pushed back the energy from the sun. Can you imagine what's going on? Now watch as we go, what's your timestamp at the top? As we go into the 10th, early this morning, we get a 4th pulse. Again, you're at 2300 hours at the top, approaching midnight. So you can see the pressure building, but suddenly a 4th burst, starting to turn these airs back towards the sun and push the energy back. It's, again, from the top. Look at that, guys. By just after midnight, complete, probably the strongest. That's the 4th pulse so far since last night. And if we look at it from the normal magnetopause, where we see the actual shield lines of the planet, it's amazing what happened. Now, from a different graph, same satellite images, same top-down image as far as the way we're looking at it. These lines, or this discharge of energy behind the planet, should never reverse and go back towards the sun. And that's why I'm saying we're getting burnt off to the right, guys. You see the yellow and red triangle there? That should be on the other side of the Earth. It should not be on the right side. That's why something much stronger pulsed above our planet 4 times while most of us were inside. And you saw where Mike Huckabee was suing just to get out on the beach. So I'm not sure the Schumann resonance is what I have always said, the God frequency, and that they would do anything, including 5G and other things, to block that. But there's a verse where the kingdom of the beast goes dark, and I think that has to do with maybe an EMP or not, maybe a solar event that knocks out the power grid, kind of like the Carrington event, to where this controlling frequency of the beast is eliminated. That's what we're hoping for, guys. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.